welcome back to our Ellipse Unsealed podcast. As always, you have here me, Savannah, and Bobby Small as well. And today we have a special guest with us, Reed Houston from True Commerce. Hi, Reed.
Hey, everyone. How are you?
Hey, Reed. How are you, man?
Good, guys. Good to see you again.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from, what you do outside of, this boring work stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So I reside in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I've been here my whole life. I've been with True Commerce for about going on 10 years now. I work within our channel with our D365 partners, specifically finance and operations. I kind of started off in the industry in sales. I was there for about 6 years, and then there was an opportunity that opened up for me to move over into channel, working with partners. And it was a no-brainer for me. One of the reasons being is because some of the best opportunities, some of the best sales cycles, some of the best customers that I had, and I have, and we still have today, were the ones that we worked through with the partners. So whenever somebody asks me, hey, Reed, I see that you have great relationships with partners like Ellipse. Would you mind, working with them strategically? Again, it was a no-brainer. So yeah. I've been in channel for about 4 years. Love it. Love working with you guys. Great team over there. And in terms of, some of the things that I like to do outside of work, other than kind of hanging out with my daughter and doing things like that. I have a little 3-year-old daughter.
I say chasing your kid around is one for sure.
Yes, very much so. At 3 years old, she's pretty mobile. But outdoors stuff, anything outdoors, kayaking, boating, hiking, biking, music. There's not too much that I don't like to do if it has anything to do with outdoors.
Cool, man. And Pittsburgh is hilly. I know this because of there's a couple of bike rides, and one of them in particular is called, I think it's like the 13 hills or the 13 challenges or something like that. But you go to a hill and you just climb that hill, and when you're done, you move to the next one. And to finish it, you have to go from the bottom to the top without stopping. You can go sideways, you can do all this, but if you stop at any point and get off your bike, you have to go back to the bottom and start again. If you want to be able to finish, if you give up, you give up. But if you want to be able to finish all 13, you've got to do it without stopping from the top to the bottom of each hill. And they're huge. Like it may not resonate, but like 12% grade to above hills, which is like, like this now. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's one that I think it might be the steepest grade in the East Coast in terms of an actual true road that people drive on. Yeah. And that's a part of the one course is that hill. And you're right. You have to have momentum, and the second that you veer right or left, you're done.
Yep. It's crazy. And you don't think of Pittsburgh as when you think, if I said hilly city, everybody's gonna say San Francisco. That's the one, because it does. I mean, if you've been to San Francisco, driving down one of those streets is stupid. Like you get to the top and you're like, this is like a roller coaster. I'm like, as I'm driving up, you hear the chunk, 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 as you're getting to the top. And then it's like, nope. Your car's teetering like on the edge of the road. It's stupid. I've never been to Pittsburgh, though. I missed, there was a conference there that I was going to go to this year or last year, and I was disappointed because we didn't end up going, but I'd never been to Pittsburgh, so I was kind of psyched to go.
Yeah,
the bug group's really growing over here in Pittsburgh, which is nice to see. So those are definitely the ones that I like to attend. It's local, don't have to travel much. I can stop in and then come right back home and jump right back into work. So
it's nice. Have you been to Pittsburgh, Savannah?
I have, yeah. I was gonna say the roads are very hilly and kind of windy too. I hardly ever get car sick, but my friend lived there about a year ago, so I went and visited her, and I was not feeling good for a second on those roads for some reason. They're not a joke.
Yep.
Yeah,
so
I like.
I was just saying. Yeah, go ahead. No, you.
I was just gonna say real quick. One of the things I like to do whenever people come into Pittsburgh and they're brand new is take them right into the city. And it's not even to take them into the city to do anything. It's the drive through the tunnel. And as soon as you get to the tunnel, all of a sudden the city just smacks you right there in the face. It's super cool.
It is.
Nothing I've ever experienced before in my other travels.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, I remember not to get too much into it, but that was one thing someone told us before we went. So we made sure to look out for it, and it was really cool. But yeah, just a nice city. We went to a Steelers game and everything, and they have a nice stadium on the river.
Kind of like the Wizard of Oz when she opens the door and everything is in color and sparkly. It's like the same feeling.
Yeah.
So tell us, what is EDI? We're here to talk about that, and a lot of people don't even know what it stands for. Just give us a kind of the brief overview of what EDI is for those who might not know or might need a little refresher.
Sure. So EDI stands for Electronic Data Interchange, and it kind of sometimes it can be a broad term. Every once in a while we'll talk with someone. They say, "Listen, we're interested in your EDI solution," and we get into it, and their definition of EDI was a little bit different than kind of what we support. So with EDI, EDI number one is a standard language for two disparate business systems, or ERP solutions in this case, to be able to communicate using a common language. Now, there's multiple different standards to EDI. One of them is going to be your ANSI X12, which is typically the North American standard. You also have EDIFACT, which is your European standard that's used, as well as many other different standards that TrueCommerce can support. Now, that being said, I'd probably say the most common two standards that our customers are leveraging us for today would be X12 as well as EDIFACT.
Yeah, so you make a good point in that it really is normalizing the ability to communicate. So what a company like TrueCommerce does is normalizes for company A to deal with a Walmart or a Target or something, so they can sell product in. And company B and company C, and each of these companies speak a different language internally. Company A calls a purchase order a PO num, and Walmart calls it a purchase order num, and Target calls it a PO number. And so all these things have to be normalized to transfer back and forth, and that's all done in that documentation. Like you said, kind of configured in the background, so nobody has to care. They just have to know, hey, I sent the document. I know it's when it makes it there. Walmart's going to know what it is because we've done all that transformation of data in between somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And that's one of the biggest things is as companies scale, if you think about the larger organizations, anything that you might buy off the shelves of Walmart, Target, even on Amazon, right? Those companies, as they start to add on what we call trading partner connections or customers that they're selling into, they're receiving more and more purchase orders. They're sending more invoices. Some of them require shipment data. Some of them require order acknowledgments to acknowledge that, hey, I can fulfill this order in full, or maybe I need to back order or short ship. So a lot of that is done manually whenever these suppliers or these vendors of the big box retailers first get their foot in the door. But as they scale and as they grow, they need a way to easily communicate between their customers and their back-end business system or their ERP system like D365, because it's either electronically set up a communication between the two companies or manual entry. And with manual entry, you have a lot of errors, creating purchase orders or creating sales orders, as well as the invoicing. There's a lot of things that go into the benefits of EDI that you don't get with just someone sitting at a computer typing in data all day.
Yeah, because like a lot of these things, like when I was working at end user, the last one that I was at, the way EDI, Amazon required you to use it. Now, you didn't have to use TrueCommerce, but you had to use a portal that they were not doing anything manual. You could do it manually. You could go up to their portal and enter all your stuff in and do all this stuff. But again, somebody's got to do that. You've got a resource now dedicated to just manual entry and the mistakes that could come with that. Or you do something like, employ and implement a solution like TrueCommerce. And to your point, they've got all this stuff already done. So it's like if I come to you and I'm an end user and I say, hey, we implement TrueCommerce and 6 months from now, it's like, oh, we're going to be doing business with Kohl's. It's not reinventing the wheel. You just say, cool, we've got the Kohl's connector already ready to go. We just need to figure out what your stuff is. And we just do a little bit of work to and we might, if we've already done we know what your stuff is too. So really that onboarding of a trading partner is pretty, it's pretty limited to time, as opposed to, if I do it manually, I'm adding another portal or another way to do it manually without having some type of interface like TrueCommerce to make that bridge for me to create that efficiency when you're doing this big box stuff, because it moves quickly. And I was telling Savannah, if you mess up, those big boxes don't care. They'll charge you back, and you end up making zero money, losing money on transactions because you're not doing something, just one number off, or you didn't put you didn't do something perfectly in the portal. All of a sudden, they're charging you back $50, $100. I've seen major chargebacks because of mistakes, and then you're kind of behind the ball, and this software helps to kind of smooth all that out, make it easier.
Yeah, and I'd say EDI is not needed for every company. People don't wake up in the morning and say, you know what, I'm going to give EDI a shot today. Usually, like Bobby said, like you said, it's a mandate. Your Walmarts, your Targets, Amazon, they require you to have EDI communication capabilities. That being said, not all of them. So, Bobby, as you alluded to earlier, there are portals that some of these big box retailers provide. There's two different reasons we see the need for EDI. Number one is you get your foot in the door, you're using Walmart's Retail Link, which is their vendor portal. You're using Amazon's Vendor Central, maybe Seller Central for direct-to-consumer orders. That's fine, but when you get to a certain volume, you need to be able to integrate those documents with your ERP for efficiency purposes and to be able to scale. Mm-hmm. That's one scenario where we see companies coming to us to help automate and leverage our EDI solution. The second scenario would be around the mandate of EDI. So there are retailers out there that don't offer a portal. Target is one of them that sticks out like a sore thumb to me.
Yeah.
They mandate you to find a third party like TrueCommerce or another provider to be able to provide that EDI solution, whether it's a portal or whether it's an integration on the back end of the ERP. Every EDI solution that we offer isn't going to be integrated. Sometimes customers come to us and say, I have one test order from Target. I need an EDI solution. I don't need to integrate it into my ERP yet. I just need a web portal. We offer that, as well as the ability to integrate into the ERP when the time is right, when you need more efficiency.
Yep.
And the nice thing about our product is that scalability. So with an EDI solution, once the integration is done, let's say we set up the product and we integrate with the first trading partner, we'll just keep using Walmart. The scalability of the solution comes into play whenever you need to add on additional trading partners or connectors, whether it's an retailer, an EDI retailer, whether it's an API connection with your e-commerce solution or a marketplace like Amazon. All we have to do is cloud deploy the maps that we already pre-built, that we build, manage, and maintain right to the solution. And we're leveraging the same integration that we built with the ERP. So it's very scalable once it's all set up and ready to go. And it's easy to add on additional connections.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice. You kind of already chatted about the integration with ERP systems. Can you tell us a little more about specifically integrating with Microsoft D365 and kind of how that looks for companies?
Yeah, absolutely. Not to get too technical here, but we've been a Microsoft certified solution on AppSource for a very long time now. Our solution is a true native module within D365 and built directly within the ERP itself. We're not an embedded website or an external app, and we're built within the native language of D365, which is, as you know, X++.
Very cool.
Yeah, and we did some extra work too on our side when we implemented an EDI solution specific to apparel company. So the integration, again, it also, that's another point of how deep the integration. Do you do custom integrations at all, or as far as like, hey, you have an out of the box, but at this apparel company that we need a few extra things because of the way we transact business. There's extra layers.
Yep. We allow partners to leverage the data entity extensions to be able to inherit the customizations of D365 and, the source key data rather than requiring code duplications within an outside user interface.
Cool. Yep. So it works much like any customization. It's going to be extensible and portable, so that it's outside of the system, obviously, but it allows for that customization. Cool. That's good to know because, like I said, nothing works right out of the box. It's always got some nuance to it, and which needs some addressing, hopefully with, process change or or a slight customization. I was a programmer, so I did the X++ piece of it. I was also a nerd and a movie buff, so it's a dumb thing, but if you know the movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off, do you know that movie?
Yep.
The gal who's in it, who's the she's a famous character actress. She's in it. She's the secretary. She's got this really interesting voice, and her name is Edie McClurg, EDIE. And so whenever we had an error on our system, her face would pop up and give you the EDI. She would look at you and let you know there was an error. So that was my funny tie-in.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So you probably don't allow that kind of customization now, like, but I had free reign at that point. So,
and not even just the customizations within the ERP that we have the capabilities to handle, but also custom integrations into the ERP.
Cool.
So if you think about EDI and our solution, we have a ton of pre-built integrations, everything from automating order to cash to procure to pay to if customers are outsourcing fulfillment to a 3PL and they have EDI capabilities, so fulfillment. Yep. But there are times where there may be some different industries outside of the traditional retail that require EDI documents that we might not have pre-built integrations for, plug and play integrations, as we say.
Yeah,
that's not a big issue. There's different ways that we can do custom integrations through multiple different means with the ERP, whether it's other APIs or whether it be flat file exchange. So at the end of the day, we have flexibility around our ability to integrate all the different transaction sets for EDI.
Yep. And like you mentioned before, it's standardized documentation, which is not standard. Like it's supposed to be, it was brought forth to be standardized, but every company like Walmart, when it says, hey, sorry guys, we don't do it this way, you're like, okay, well, we got to change it slightly for Walmart, or we got to change it slightly for Target now, or slightly for Amazon. So what was supposed to be like really easy standard, slightly, gets a little, so it does take some work to get everything fine tuned, but really, really efficient way of transacting business once you get it humming.
The saying is EDI is a standard of no standards.
I love it. Yeah, I lived it. Yeah, for sure. And just to point out that like Dynamics 365 doesn't have an EDI solution built in. So that's I mean, if you need EDI, if you want EDI, there's no out of the box solution. You need a solution to help you through that to get you into this software. So just wanted to point that out. Talk a little bit about what makes true commerce. Like what separates you from, because there's not 40 EDI vendors out there, but talk a little bit about true commerce and how you shine.
Sure. So we've been doing EDI since 1995. So very long time. It's nothing new to us. We have a huge trading partner network of over 180,000 different trading partner connections that are already pre-established over our network. So there's not going to be too many customers that need a connection that we don't have, already today. That being said, if we do come across a trading partner that we don't have mapped out today, we have a whole team that is dedicated to mapping trading partners as well as maintaining those. One of the big differentiators is that our solution is a true end-to-end product, true end-to-end integration, meaning that we build, manage, and maintain everything in-house. So if you think about EDI, there's really three different components. You have the network, to be able to connect with the customers, the suppliers, the warehouses, to be able to transmit these documents over back and forth. You also have the translation of the software itself, or the translation of the documents, the EDI documents. In addition to that, you have the integration. So we've built, manage, and maintain every component, all three of those components in-house here. We didn't outsource it. We didn't acquire those. So that's one big factor. Keeps the projects and the product itself, or the integration, moving forward. The implementations are not siloed where you have multiple different teams. It's all baked into one product, one offering. In addition to that, I would have to say, going back to more of the native module built within the native code of D365. There's multiple different ways to integrate with an ERP. We worked with Microsoft and went down this direction through their guidance as well, which was something that really makes us stand out to the industry experts. Yeah,
I mean, that's a big deal coming from a development standpoint. Knowing that code is there, it's been tested. You're not going to have any issue with that piece of your integration. I mean, that should be pretty standard. I mean, you have to obviously account for any personal customizations, but within your business, anything unique within your business, but there's just that core base that you can trust has been vetted out, numerous times. That's, integrated. So that's a huge deal.
Yeah, I'd say the last thing is the architecture of the solution and the route that we went down for the integration and the product that was built. It really benefits our customers that are high volume. So you don't have to worry about, with different integration layers, there's throttling, which can really hinder the ability to transact documents in a timely fashion.
Yeah.
So we built our solution thinking of that in terms of, the customer base that we target.
Yeah.
And it's definitely the right product for very high volume customers. And
yeah, just to kind of to nuance that a little bit, what you're talking about is the cloud, the amount of data transacting through the Azure cloud. Yeah. And if you're using an API solution, which means you're not integrated, you're transferring multitude of data back and forth between a one database to another. That's where the throttling can come into play. So you could see a lag in your real-time data, which you wouldn't see in an integration scenario. So
you got it.
Yeah, True Commerce is obviously unique and special in itself. And you kind of touched on earlier working with partners. Is there anything specific about Ellipse Solutions that you enjoy working with us on? You got to talk about that a little bit.
Sure. Purple's my favorite color.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Yep. Great team to work with. For multiple different reasons. Very responsive. I can reach out to Bobby, Rick, and team, and I have an answer within minutes at the latest. Bobby, you're traveling like a nut. You're still responding within a day or two. So the confidence of working with a partner like that, making sure that we're both in line, making sure that we were both putting our best foot forward to take care of our customers. If there are any issues, they're resolved very quickly. So that's one thing that I greatly appreciate about working with you guys. Very personal as well. So I know more about you than a lot of my other partners personally, which is really cool. It's kind of that community that we're all focused on with Microsoft, and you guys bring the community to the table every time. In addition to that, meeting you folks at events, working on co-marketing activities, all those things are what makes Ellipse stand out to True Commerce.
Yeah, and you pointed this out earlier. I didn't touch on it, but when you were talking about your path, not the same, but similar in that I was an end user forever and ever, but then moved into kind of a quasi sales role, but then really had this opportunity to do channel, which is more relationship building, and that to me was really appealing, and so working with folks like you, I mean, it's an easy lift when you've got people that are excited to do what they're doing and bring that energy and enthusiasm to their job every day. We gravitate towards those folks, and it's fun to work with True Commerce for that reason. And for the same reasons you mentioned. I mean, I think when we're looking for partners, we're doing the same thing. We're looking for folks that are going to be responsive when the things are good, and responsive when the things are bad, and just all the things wrapped up into one, and people we can trust at the end of the day when we're recommending partners to our customers. And like I said, it happens in a multitude of ways. It could be, we like it when we're able to bring you in, but sometimes you bring us in. Sometimes it's, at the same time, because somebody's been at a user event and they've talked to you, they've talked to us, and they bring us together, so it happens in so many different ways, but it's always fun to connect, like you said, and build that energy together, so we can move forward.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that truly is like the amazing thing about the community. I feel like everyone just kind of knows everyone, and everyone just works together, which is really cool. Which kind of leads us into our next subject. You kind of talked about the Pittsburgh user group. What are your favorite things about those kind of events?
I would have to say meeting people face to face. We're in this world that years ago that stopped, and it changes the way that you do business with partners, with ISVs. So the biggest thing is kind of getting back to that human to human interaction, face to face interaction. There's just something different about it. Meeting someone in person is completely different than over a screen. A lot of times, whenever you're in a meeting with an ISV or a partner, you guys know that a lot of times people won't even have their video on. So having the ability to communicate and collaborate face to face is next to none.
Yep. Early in the morning, my camera is always broken for some reason. Like before 9 o'clock, I just can't get my camera. I think it's the temperature. It doesn't want to start unless it's over a certain temperature in the house. So it doesn't start till about 9 a.m. and then it comes on. I don't know. Yeah, it's really touchy. Yeah. So what events are you traveling to? Like, do you travel like you said, I travel at least, on average once a month. Sometimes I'll be on it like, June, I think was between May and June, it was like 5 events in like 4 weeks. Just happened to fall that way, just kind of fell out in a way that was multiple events. But usually average of probably 1.5 a month, I'd say. What about yourself?
Yeah, I've been traveling a little bit more this year. It was kind of a focus, especially with the road show, the Summit road shows. Those are really nice to be able to attend. It's smaller. You get to bump elbows with a lot more people compared to the giant event in October.
Yeah.
The Doug meetups are great. Local regional meetups are wonderful. I've been attending a couple of those, as well as the other bigger events like Dynamics Con, Summit itself.
Yep.
So those are probably the main ones that I had on the ticket for this year.
Yep.
As well as your customer event here coming up in November that we're really excited about. So
yeah, so are we. We're in that planning phase, so we're still kind of digging through the details, and it's super exciting.
Am I going to get to build a bike this year?
I'm not going to say what it is, but we got something new planned. Yeah, we're going to switch it up a little bit. Yeah,
cool.
I think you'll like it though. I think it's going to be fun. It's it's different, and it's still benefiting a charity, so it's still a charity event, but I think it'd just be a slightly different wrinkle, which I think people will enjoy. Hopefully.
Cool. Looking forward to it.
Yep. No, you agree. Like like you said, local meetups. I feel like it all starts with the local meetups. As soon as when those local meetups get big and grow, then those regionals and those those Doug regionals and those DCI road shows are well attended. Like you said, they hit that 100 to 200 people range, and the more users we get involved. I mean, ISVs, and I love traveling. I love for me, I love being there and talking to the ISVs, but the users are the ones that really are going to drive these local events. And so the more they get involved, the better. And we're seeing that grow. And like I said, locally, they're popping up everywhere. Pittsburgh is fairly new. I'm going to be in Tulsa next month. I've never been to Tulsa, and they started a user group. We got 20 people signed up already. So I'm super excited about that one. Just they're popping up everywhere. And I like to get to as many as I can, just because, like I said, I like that face-to-face interaction and just growing the community, so that then when you get to those big events, the Summit, in October and in the fall, and then Dynamics Con in the spring / early summer, which is going to be Chicago. Would you drive to that, or you'll probably fly? It's still kind of a haul to get to Chicago, but yeah,
I'll fly. But I haven't been to Chicago since I was maybe 10 years old, so I'm excited.
Yeah, it's been a while too. I'll be it'd be nice to get to Chicago again. It's been a while since I've been there. Yeah,
I've never been. Hopefully I'll get to go to DICON this year, though. We'll see. But yeah, I'm not as big of a travel bug as you guys. Normally it's just Summit and our event for me. And
we talked about this. We need marketing people though. Like us, sales / channel developer people are, we never take pictures. We don't do all the grunt work that needs to have, all the good stuff that you need after the event, the pictures that show you were there and that how fun it was. And although I'm getting better, I feel like I'm sending pictures and
you
so
are.
hopefully I'm making that a point.
Yeah. I'm always in Bobby's ear, like, can you please send me this?
Yeah. It's like, yeah. So she's back there like, nope, a different picture. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. No, get a picture of that. Yeah. Camera 3.
It's always the end of those events, and I look back and I'm on LinkedIn and I'm thinking, why didn't I take any pictures? I was just too excited, too busy running around trying to hang out and meet with people. So
exactly, it's like I'm running from one thing to typically at those events, like I walked out to use the restroom, but I'm walking out and there's 300 people at this event in Seattle last week, and by the time I got back in, was 30 minutes later because I walk out and you meet somebody and you meet somebody and you meet somebody and and then you come back in, you meet somebody, and then you finally get back into the event because it takes that long to move around just because you're so excited to see people you know really well, maybe somebody who wants to meet you or you want to meet, you see, so you got a lot of fun things, a lot of fun activity there.
Absolutely.
There's worse things.
You bet.
Cool. Well, Bobby, was there anything else that you wanted to chat about, or Reed, was there anything else that you wanted to bring up in this pod?
I think we did a good job covering. I think the goal was to really kind of introduce EDI again to the world here in Dynamics for those who may not know what it is. So I think we've done a good job at breaking that down, allowing Reed to talk about True Commerce. But yeah, Reed, anything else top of mind for you that you want to get out before we break?
No, I think we touched base on everything that I wanted to touch base on. So I greatly appreciate the time today. It's great seeing you guys as always, and looking forward to seeing you folks face to face here at the next event.
You bet, man.
Definitely. I do have some fun questions for us to end out this pod on, if you guys are down for that.
I'm ready. Right. Bring them on. Yeah.
Okay, so Reed, these are just kind of like speak questions that are silly and whatever. Don't take it too seriously is the main thing. Okay, so the first question is, if you were to have dinner with one historical figure, who would it be?
Oh, wow.
While you guys are thinking, I'll say mine.
Yeah.
Personally, it would be Helen Keller, because I'm very skeptical of her. And I just want to see what she's got going on.
You becoming like a hard position, like, okay, let's talk about this, Miss
Keller.
If that is your real name.
Exactly. I'm coming with all the questions.
Yeah. You're just a third degree. It's like you're going to sneak up on her somewhere in history. like a National Enquirer reporter.
Yeah.
This top of mind for whatever reason came out was Albert Einstein. I just any generally super smart person like that who's just like a genius would be fun to just sit and I do this a lot in the medical world for multiple sclerosis. I love to sit on like webinars where the doctors are talking and I have almost zero idea what they're saying. Sometimes I'll understand a little bit, but I take a lot of notes and then go back and try to figure out and deconstruct what they were talking about, because they're always talking really high level research or things that are so to me it's fun to sit at the feet of folks like that and kind of learn their process and hear kind of that genius level discussion going on.
Yeah, that's cool.
Mine would have to be Arnold Palmer. Huge into charity, nicest guy in the world.
Mm-hmm.
He was very good at golf, loves golf. I love to golf.
Yep.
Local guy out of Ligonier, Pennsylvania here. Just really neat. Actually, my hair's standing up on my arms. That would be wild.
Yep. And he created the best drink ever too, right? Like the Arnie Palmer, right?
So it's probably two of my favorite drinks. I'm a huge iced tea guy. I know some people hate it, some people love it. Yep. My great grandmother used to make sun tea, so she just put tea bags in this big glass jug and sit it outside. So I grew up drinking tea all the time, and then lemonade. I mean, I don't know anybody that doesn't like lemonade. So you throw those two together, and you have an Arnold Palmer.
Yep.
Based on what you just said, Reed, I think you will actually like our charity event for Tech Connect this year. Drop a little Easter egg. Very cool. So the next question is, what is your favorite animated movie?
Avatar.
I'm going to say it's The Little Mermaid.
That's a good one.
Yep. That was the Disney Renaissance. I mean, I think it was perfect timing for me, and it just, definitely one I've seen. I've probably told you this. We might be on this pod more than once. When it came out, I saw it probably definitely over 100 times in the theater in the late 80s, because it got to the dollar theater. These are real dollar theaters. And so I just went every night and sometimes would sit through a couple of sittings of it, like just, start at 7 and go to, they kick me out.
Mine would be probably Shrek, but that's a hard one to choose.
It's super hard. There's so many good ones. Yeah, and Reed, you're sliding into this era soon where your kid will be wanting to watch all these, and you're cycle through all.
Yeah.
Every generation's animated movie.
Yes. She goes through her phases. She's on Frozen right now. But before that, and one that I really, 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 really like is Zootopia.
That's a good one. Yeah, I like Zootopia.
I could watch that every day. It cracks me up. But she's on Zootopia for about 3 or 4 months before she got a hold of Frozen 1 and 2.
Yeah. Yep. That's
she calls herself Elsa.
Oh,
I love it.
I love how they like hyper fixate onto one movie and then they don't want to watch anything else for like you said, months on end.
and watch it over and over again. It's like just just start again, play again, restart.
That's Taylor Swift Eras Tour.
Mm-hmm.
Every day.
Really?
Now that she knows how to use the remote. Yeah, I'll run upstairs.
Are you talking about Savannah now, or are you talking about your daughter?
No,
I actually haven't seen that yet, but
okay.
Yeah, she's a little Swiftie already. That's fun.
Oh yeah.
And then the last question I have, hopefully you guys eat this a little bit, but do you have a go-to Subway order?
I would have to say an Italian. Anything Italian, whether it's Subway or a restaurant or a firehouse, you name it. It's Italian's a go-to.
Yeah.
I'm a club, solid ham, turkey, and bacon, but it's a Jersey Mike's. I rarely do Subway, but Jersey Mike's I'm down with.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw something somewhere that was like, one day you just decided your Subway order and then you never changed it. So that was the reasoning behind this question.
It's true. I mean, once you get locked in, it's like you rarely like, today I'm going to, change it up. But it's like, you locked into the tuna, you're always the tuna.
Exactly.
You locked into the BMT, you're always the BMT. Yeah?
Yes. Yes. Mine's chicken teriyaki at Subway. That's what I always get.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, those are all the questions I have for you guys. So thanks for playing along.
Yep, you bet.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yep. Thanks, Savannah.
Yeah. Well, Reed, thanks again for joining us. We really appreciate you taking the time and chatting with us. And it was great.
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. This was awesome. Let me know if you want to do it again.
You bet, man. We'll look forward to seeing you around the block.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Have a wonderful day.